Welcome to Sunday School for Sunday, May 1st, 2022, for ages 15 to 17. I do not own the rights to this music. This is the audio version of Sunday School only. Today's Bible basis is coming out of John chapter 9, verses 1 through 17. Today's Bible truth: Healing the Blind Man. The title of our story: It's the Law. How'd it go, son? As his mother pulled away from the new school, Daniel tried not to cry. If I don't pass the end of grade test, I'll have to repeat my grade. You're a straight A student. I know you'll do fine, his mother said. No, Mom, not this time. We should have waited until school ended before we moved. We've talked about this already, Daniel. You know we didn't have a choice to move. This test will be no different from any other test you've taken and aced. But my science teacher looked at my transcript and said I've only had earth science. This school studies 4 sciences: microbiology, cellular biology, chemistry, and earth science. Daniel said, When's the test? Daniel sucked his teeth. In 3 weeks. Did you bring your science books home? They don't have science books. Well, they've got to have some kind of study material. I can't cram all of that in. And the teacher said there's nothing he can do. It's the law down here. If you don't pass the 6th, 8th, and 10th grade exams, you fail, Daniel explained. So you mean to tell me a straight A student can fail the whole grade if they fail a dumb state test? Yes. Well, we'll see about that. Don't you worry, his mother said. I'll talk to the teacher to see if you can meet with him before or after school to study his notes. And I'll look online to see what I can find that might help. Meanwhile, we'll both pray. God didn't bring us this far to just drop us off. Our lesson scripture today is John chapter 9, verses 1 through 17. And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus answered, Neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him. I must work the works of him that sent me, while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay, and said unto him, Go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is by interpretation sent. He went his way therefore, and washed, and came seeing. The neighbors therefore, and they which before had seen him, that he was blind, said, Is not this he that sat and begged? Some said, This is he. Others said, He is like him. But he said, I am he. Therefore said they unto him, How were thine eyes opened? He answered and said, A man that is called Jesus made clay and anointed mine eyes, and said unto me, Go to the pool of Siloam and wash. And I went and washed, and I received sight. Then said they unto him, Where is he? He said, I know not. They brought to the Pharisees him that aforetime was blind. And it was the Sabbath day, when Jesus made the clay and opened his eyes. Then again the Pharisees also asked him how he had received his sight. He said unto them, He put clay upon mine eyes, and I washed, and do see. Therefore said some of the Pharisees, This man is not of God, because he keepeth not the Sabbath day. Others said, How can a man that is a sinner do such miracles? And there was a division among them. They say unto the blind man again, What sayest thou of him, that he hath opened thine eyes? He said, He is a prophet. The Sabbath was the one day of the week set aside for rest and worship. Jesus and the disciples were minding their own business when they walked upon a blind man. The disciples wanted to know the origin of the man's blindness, since he was born that way. Was it his sins or his parents that caused it? They asked. Neither, Jesus answered. Some human circumstances exist so that the creative power of God can be displayed. Jesus applied spit and clay to the man's eyes, and after washing in a pool, the man could see. The Pharisees were angry that Jesus healed on the Sabbath. Jesus put a man's needs above the law. Now there are questions from our story today. Question 1. What did Daniel feel like doing when he left school? Question 2. What could cause him to fail his grade? Question 3. Why was he anxious about the end of grade test? And question 4. What was Daniel's mother's plan? Now there are questions from our lesson text. Question 1. How long had the man been blind? Question 2. Why was the man blind? Question 3. What did Jesus put on the man's eyes? Question 4. When was the man healed? The law of the Sabbath kept others from helping the blind man. What rules keep you from helping others? Do you ignore hurting people because you're not supposed to talk to strangers? Or do you think witnessing is for adults and you're too young? Talk with your parents about today's lesson and ask when it might be fine to break the rules to help someone else. Our memory verse for today's lesson. He answered and said, A man that is called Jesus made clay and anointed mine eyes, and said unto me, Go to the pool of Siloam and wash. And I went and washed, and I received sight. John chapter 9, verse 11. The end. God bless you, and thank you for joining us today.